So ISIS has a strong desire to attack our homeland.
A clear and present danger to the U.S. homeland.
This new security warning right here in the U.S.
Future attacks from ISIS are not a question of if, but when.
We should believe them when they say that. They're going to try to do it.
Updates coming out in the last 48 hours that foreign terrorists are targeting the U.S. becoming an increasing concern, according to FBI Director Wray. And this is actually coming from ISIS. After ISIS's attack in Moscow, the FBI chief warns similar plans may be brewing here in the United States. And they're saying an attack is inevitable, that they will be attacking the United States. And that same day, just 48 hours ago, on Tuesday, FBI also arrested an Idaho 18-year-old for violent plot to attack churches on behalf of ISIS. They're saying public gatherings, places of worship are on the target list for ISIS to attack here in the U.S. on our own soil. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the latest information on this. And also, if you're somebody that likes to stay up to date on everything going on, I've got a video sponsor today that's going to be giving out a free $20 to the first 500 people that use the link down below. But more on that later on in the video. Let's go ahead and get you caught up on the latest. I'm going to be sharing with you the latest warnings come out, the actual video footage, so you can see it for yourself as to what they're saying regarding attacks coming to the United States. But let's go ahead and dive right in. And before we do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, take a quick second to hit that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Hit subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. Question: will Biden's approval rating go up before elections? Will Congress finally pass the child tax credit? What about the border bill? Will TikTok be banned? What if I told you there was a way that you could trade and make money based off of the information that you know and things that matter to you the most? Kalshi is the first legal exchange in the United States where you can bet on any event. It's like the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ, but instead of investing in stocks, you're actually investing in things that you know about and care about. With hundreds of thousands of users on the exchange already, Kalshi has already seen over $500 million in trading. Kalshi has tons of company-related markets where you can bet on things that impact these markets. You can trade on things surrounding economics, politics, culture, tech, even the weather, and more. This is how it works. Let's say you believe that Texas will win its court case against the federal government over whether it's allowed to control the border. It is currently at a 62% chance that they will lose, or a 38% chance that they will win. So you can buy shares of Texas winning at 38 cents each. The price changes based on what the market thinks the odds of the event will be. Let's say you want to buy 100 shares, you pay 38 cents times 100 equals $38. And if Texas wins its court case, you get $100. But if not, you get $0. You can also sell your shares before the results come in. If the share price goes up to an 80% chance, you can sell your current shares at 80 cents each before the event is even done. You can also take the other side of the trade if you're worried about their chances of winning. You can also use these markets to determine the likelihood of events taking place. A price of 38 cents means thousands of people are given a 38% chance that Texas wins the court case. You can see the likelihood of all events on Kalshi by checking the current market prices. So if you want to make money trading on things that matter to you, use my link in the description below, and the first 500 people to sign up will get a free $20 credit courtesy of Kalshi. So check them out. And again, thanks to today's video sponsor, Kalshi.
So ISIS-K in particular, but ISIS in general, has a strong desire to attack our homeland. We should believe them when they say that. They're going to try to do it. We should expect further attempts of this nature against the United States as well as our partners and other nations abroad.
A clear and present danger to the U.S. homeland. The former head of Central Command warning that future attacks from ISIS are not a question of if, but when. Joining us now is retired four-star General Jack Keane. He's a Fox News senior strategic analyst. I also want to read to you from the Wall Street Journal, Ed Board, saying this: the Biden administration doesn't want to talk about this for obvious political reasons, especially in an election year. All the more so when the porous southern U.S. border could be an avenue for terrorist infiltration, but it doesn't enhance U.S. safety to hide the truth. General, your thoughts on it all?
Yeah, well, there's no surprise here for the Biden administration, because President Biden and his advisors were told by the entire military chain of command, from the on-scene commander in Afghanistan all the way to the Secretary of Defense, and to include his CIA director, that it's likely if we pull our troops out, sanctuaries will form, particularly with ISIS, to a lesser degree with al-Qaeda, and we could be facing future attacks. There were 6 NATO nations, Dana, that were in Afghanistan with us at the time. We had 2,500 troops. They had a cumulative of 7,000 troops. Every one of those nations wanted to stay, not to support the United States and make them feel good, because they were worried about their own national security. And now we see ISIS attacking into Europe as far away as Moscow, and certainly those nations in Europe are target one, as well as the United States homeland. And that should give us definite pause and concern about going forward.
This evening, we are also following this new security warning right here in the U.S. from the FBI and Homeland Security, warning of potential threats to public gatherings. The timing of this and why they're concerned tonight. Here's our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, with late reporting.
Tonight, FBI and Homeland Security officials are warning U.S. law enforcement about the potential for terror inspired by that deadly ISIS attack in Moscow targeting a concert hall. The concern, according to the bulletin, violence targeting mass gatherings such as sports stadiums, concert venues, or houses of worship in the United States. Law enforcement told to be on the lookout for any suspicious activity. The bulletin coming just days before millions will gather to watch the eclipse on Monday. Authorities say following the Moscow attack, ISIS and its supporters celebrated the assault and shared graphic and violent attack footage, the terror group calling for similar attacks in the United States.
I'm told U.S. law enforcement is being urged to take this bulletin seriously. Sources say ISIS remains a very real threat.
And this comes as 48 hours ago, the FBI has arrested an 18-year-old in Idaho after uncovering a truly horrific and violent plot to attack churches this past weekend on behalf of ISIS, the Justice Department says. Alexander Mercurios is now facing a federal charge of attempting to provide material support and resources to a designated foreign terrorist organization after the FBI says he devised a plan to incapacitate his father, restrain him using handcuffs, and steal his firearms to use for maximum casualties in an attack that he had planned to carry out in a northern Idaho resort city on Sunday, April the 7th. Now, the defendant allegedly pledged loyalty to ISIS and sought to attack people attending churches in Idaho, a truly horrific plan which was detected and thwarted by the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force, FBI Director Christopher Wray said in a statement. Now, the Justice Department will continue to relentlessly pursue, disrupt, and hold accountable those who would commit acts of terrorism against the people and interests of the United States, added Attorney General Merrick Garland. Now, in a criminal complaint, the FBI says the investigation began when Mercurio reached out to confidential human sources online and indicated his support for ISIS. Mercurio spread ISIS propaganda online and solicited ISIS's involvement in an approval of the propaganda efforts, discussed traveling from the United States to join ISIS, and considered and planned ways to support ISIS financially, an FBI investigator wrote in a complaint. Now, the FBI investigator also said that he had pledged his alliance to ISIS and was willing to sacrifice his life on behalf of ISIS. But on Saturday afternoon, FBI agents carried out a search warrant at Mercurio's house and took him into custody while allegedly finding items linked to the plot. Now, this comes on that same day as well. We also saw in Dearborn, Michigan, here in the United States on our soil, calls for death to America from pro-Hamas groups. Now, in addition to that, we've also heard that Iran will be retaliating as a result of the attacks that took place by Israel, and they said that they will hold the United States and Israel accountable. Now, to get the latest information on that, be sure to check out this video right here next as I covered it in detail. And as things unfold, I'll be sure to keep you up to date here on the channel. But that is the latest. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll keep you up to date. Catch you in the next video. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.